33 out of 33.
Front telemetry nominal.
We've heard power and telemetry nominal call out. We're heading downrange over the Gulf of Mexico.
Good call out. Trajectory looking nominal. System looking nominal. Just amazing. All right, we just passed through max Q, so we're going to continue on up. We still have about a minute and 30 seconds until we get to stage separation.
Increases. The density of the atmosphere is decreasing.
Max Q.
Lessening stress on the vehicle. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but 3 of the Raptor engines. Clamps holding the 2 stages. Continuing to watch the first stage of this
Just about
100 seconds into flight. Our next major activity is going to be shutdown of the first stage.
Sea levels, all but 3. We're going to do what's called most engines cut off instead of main engine cut off, because 3 are going to keep going, and then we're going to see the engines on ship ignite.
If all goes well, those 6 engines will burn for almost 6.5 minutes. Onboard view from Starship. And there's fusion powers continue to nominal on the stage as we prepare for stage separation on the first engine performs separation on the first stage.
We're see the booster engines start to shut down. You'll see all the three lights go out. Go for catch.
Booster engine cut off.
The return flag is set for true.
Ship engine
There's
start up.
most engines cut off.
Stage separation.
Alright, staging confirmed. Ship out of 6 lit on the ship. Booster boost back going. We heard that we are go for catch. Kate Jesse taking the views. Hopefully I got a booster coming home real soon. Staging the booster. Okay, we got Starship on its way to space.
Incredible views of our Super Heavy booster. And as you can see, the Super Heavy booster has just experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly.
Approximately 30 seconds left.
We've had shutdown of that boost back. Up next, we have on stage just thing after clearing the tower was icing on the cake. This is our view of the jettisoned hot stage. As we mentioned, this is a temporary fix to help reduce the weight of the booster, of the Super Heavy booster.
Everyone here absolutely pumped to clear the pad and make it this far into the tower.
To see these views, you can see the ship on the right-hand side of your screen. All 6 Raptor engines are under full power. Once again, the booster is making its way back to the
The command was sent for the booster to come back.
That is incredible.
So I'm looking up right now. It's pretty much right overhead of us, and we can see it starting to come.
engine graphics, so be sure to keep an eye on those. Except for most compromises.
Exactly. We're still going to get a lot of good flight data with the booster unit. We have an additional objective today to do an in-space relight of a Raptor engine, which again will help us set us up for being able to do deorbit burns, which is
Ship chamber pressures are nominal.
Booster coming in hot for booster catch.
We're going to ignite 13 of those Raptor engines, and this view is incredible right now. On the left-hand screen,
Landing burn has been ignited.
and we are expecting that landing burn here.
Booster landing burn shutdown.
Rotating and turning to guide the booster, and there's that landing burn. That landing burn just begun, and you can see the water below. And we have splashdown. Day 16. The view must have been insane.
So far, we've hit control descent. We're in the middle of that right now. We demonstrate.
We can see on our screen ship giving us some incredible views brought to us by Starlink. This view is also very interesting because we can see basically the receding tile line that we referred to earlier. Where we mentioned you have Starlink, a number of tiles and push the envelope on your ship and demonstrate its.
Ship engine cut off.
And there we just heard call out for Seco, ship engine cutoff. Great news there. Everything continuing to look awesome for ship. As you can tell by the excitement from the crowd here at Mission Control Center in Hawthorne. Texas, the crowd here, Mission Control Center behind us in Hawthorne. Everyone is super exciting. We'd like to send it back over to Dan, who can give us that live view experience. Dan, once again, are you okay after witnessing another Starship?
Yeah, totally fine. You guys have to be jealous. This is the only way to do this. This is fantastic. No, it was really cool to see it lift off. 33 to 33. Didn't go for the booster fix today. Initially, we were good. We kept the criteria and did the off-board work. So we went with the longer we had everybody. So we left it off right into it a little bit more. 25 a.m. Again, this is
Today, we are going to take a short break for the next 30 minutes. We'll return back at T plus 40 minutes while the ship continues to coast before re-entry.
6 engines behind the ship. Still to go. We did see it lift on its way around like a nominal booster attempt to do, and then we did make it. With the ascent, we had successful cutoff, successful hot staging, all 6 engines on the ship. Powered it all the way in data to figure out exactly what happened. Obviously, starting to do some orbital visual lookout for the night. And then following that, ship entry in space. We've got a bunch of, as we said, ambitious objectives. objectives ahead of us over the next couple of minutes, pretty much over the next hour, where we're going to really
all that to try and
got the
help
ship
us
in
learn.
space. We're now going to take advantage of this and try and learn as much as possible about some of the other systems
when we start catching them.
including that.
I'll check back in with everybody in a little bit.
It's just going to be impressive.
I'm going to tune in and watch the show.
All of that
around
still to
planet
come.
Earth.
The mission just started to wow. What a liftoff! What a hot stage! What
Thanks,
an
Dan.
amazing sight to see
Development
Starship.
testing, by definition,
outer
is
space.
unpredictable, which we saw with Super Heavy splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico today, but that is exactly why we test. As is standard for these tests, the area around the pad and along the flight path was
Wow,
It has been an exciting day.
It's been an exciting day so
This is going to be really important anytime we want to do in-space maneuvers in the future, like eventual deorbit burns,
and good separation of the hot stage adapter.
landing
The Super Heavy booster then completed the landing burn with 13 Raptor engines igniting and slowing down the vehicle. 13 Raptor engines igniting and slowing down the vehicle perfectly for Mechazilla to catch the Super Heavy booster for the first ever land recovery of the vehicle.
We're on a pretty steep trajectory that we are coming home no matter what, regardless of doing a burn. This was done just so we can really work a trajectory that's really not super susceptible to delta V changes in velocity. We're doing a pretty exciting footprint in the Indian Ocean that we're going to be targeting for Slash.
We learned a lot about those speeds during the Space 4 and as a result, results in friction, the heat shield, but more on all that in just a minute. Now, re-entering is typically a portion of the field around the vehicle. That blanket of plasma distorts, as you can see, that plasma blanket, which you can kind of see here, distorts communication frequencies, so we're left with a brief blackout in communication. Atmosphere results in friction. Now, this is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because they're re-entering the Earth's atmosphere at or around orbital velocity, about like kilometers per second or roughly 5 miles per second. Communication capacity. So at those speeds, the spacecraft's interaction with the atmosphere results in. So it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication, but hopefully that's not the case today.
And Kate, that's where Starlink has just kind of been just the unsung hero and the MVP of this test campaign. I mean,
The plasma doesn't entirely block it. That connection will be at a very slow data rate and definitely too slow for any video.
That's why Starship and Starlink are a great partnership. Starship is so big that it will lead a wake or a hole in the plasma field as it flies through an atmosphere. You can think of a wake kind of like when you see a boat going through the ocean, it sort of leaves a trail behind it. There's some of those great views from trail behind it. There's some of those great views from Starlink, giving us views of Starship's onboard videos. And so we're hoping that the Starlink on board will let us, just like we're seeing these videos now, see through that plasma field by maintaining a continuous communication lock. This is only the second time that we're testing Starlink.
Thanks to Starlink, you can see that HD views by the looks of it, thanks to Starlink. You can see that
we're getting closer to re-entry. We're going to be moving at hypersonic speeds.
a couple of them here. The one that I'm holding is used on flat surfaces as, let's see if we go that way. We've already validated Starship's ability to fly. We can see land getting subsonic speeds. You might recall those several of those flights we did a few years ago. survive re-entry, hopefully. And getting data on aspects like heating control while traveling way faster. Control itself.
Exactly. We've been talking about this entire flight test. There's 18,000 hexagonal ceramic tiles surrounding the bottom portion.
That enables Starship to control itself
during atmospheric re-entry, the vehicle is going to
to help control itself and survive the heat of re-entry, which, like we said before, we're expecting that re-entry to occur around T plus 49 minutes. So we're getting pretty close here.
And what you're seeing here, it looks like the vehicle is sort of moving back and forth. Part of the end of a flight. So we've got 4 of those. And man, we can see the heating on the slats as we're starting to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. This is where the Earth's atmosphere is doing the work to slow us down. Slow us down.
Now, like we said, this plasma field is, what a view. We hope to maintain these views throughout. Starship is so big that we're hoping that the plasma field doesn't entirely blank.
Brought to you by Starlink.
And still capturing the data and the video that we see here. I mean, Shiva, this is just absolutely incredible views. We've never seen anything like this before. This is the biggest flying object ever in space.
Absolutely, Kate. And orbital velocities, even though we were on a nearly orbital trajectory. So the heating and the loads that Starship is going through right now are what it would be getting.
Fastest that Starship has ever flown. And you can definitely tell by the crowd here in Hawthorne.
The heat shield tiles doing their work. We talked about it earlier. Up to 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit that those heat shield tiles are dissipating as we are re-entering.
Yeah, now this was one of the critical, or rather the key mission objectives that we were hoping to hit today. We have never, like I said before, this is the fastest and furthest that Starship.
Minute re-entry. An awesome view that we have here.
Starship remains on a good entry trajectory.
This is the, once again, of Starship as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. Once again, the atmosphere is doing us a big favor here by
80 kilometers altitude.
Entry to begin here in about 30 seconds or so. Entry next to splashdown is expected to begin about beginning of minutes long.
You want the vehicle to remain stable. You want the orbital speed, but you want the vehicle to remain stable. You want those heat shield tiles. So that's the perfect engineer survey during the hypersonic phase and then again during the subsonic phase. During the hypersonic phase and then again during the subsonic phase.
Absolutely. So about a minute after.
Starship is approaching the peak heating phase of entry, remains on a nominal trajectory.
Okay, so that was phase 2.
And in your bottom right-hand corner, you can also follow along with the altitude of ship as it's returning back to Earth.
And then, of course, landing burn. Wow, what an incredible view.
The colors are so amazing, and the colors actually also tell you a little bit about the temperature that the vehicle is.
How high it is, as well as the general orientation. Again, we're seeing a lot more stability, a lot more control here on this flight, which is
something we wanted to accomplish on flight 2, getting to it today. So
telling us that they basically don't contact when they did
to subsonic, which we have some experience with. We did in our suborbital campaign.
Startup rapid chill.
And try and align those and use that for improvements in the future.
Now, we heard a call out there saying that engine chill has to see if it survives entry. So, yeah, as we've been saying, we've done a lot of calculations. is out from the aft engine bay, basically at the bottom is the temperature. Then on the center left hand,
64 kilometers in altitude right now. We made it through what's expected to be the peak heating, but now we're going to start encountering increased pressures as the atmosphere gets thicker and thicker.
flaps, like the one that you see in the main picture there.
With the different temperatures that we're seeing, with the different colors of that plasma around the ship, which is really, really cool to see. Again,
Continuing to descend. Again, right now we are over the Indian Ocean. We're actually getting closer and closer to that expected splashdown point, which is just to the off the northwest corner of Australia. Anything we can get extra, like a couple extra seconds or minutes of data coming from the ship after
Starship has
splashdown.
passed through the peak heating phase of flight, approaching maximum entry dynamic pressure.
Getting the same splashdown location in the Indian Ocean, but we are not expecting to recover the vehicle.
we're looking pretty good. We're not seeing any burn through. There's those flaps again in that hinge area, which is our most concerning area there. That's great news for us for now. Again, the next few minutes could change. That's great news for us for now. Again, the next few minutes could change as we continuously push those limits.
So this reversal landing technique.
External temperatures are starting to come down.
Again,
That landing in future.
Peak heating and still got really good views throughout that whole period. Typically,
and we're strategically putting some cameras around the vehicle to just look at the different areas. That, looks like we got the flap starting to come apart a little.
Yeah, it does appear that we have a little bit of burn through there. We can see pieces of the vehicle flying off. What a show it has been. It's been like watching Interstellar or something.
coming down.
A couple years ago, for those high altitude tests, there was to see
The speed of sound. And I mean, we're getting live views, we're getting live data.
These temperatures to continue to come down. Once again, we are targeting a soft. Really, the telemetry and the data saying. But really, the telemetry and the data and the video that we receive all the way. Fingers crossed that we can satellite system and
There we got that live view back. The crowd very excited to see that view, despite not being able to see very much.
The fact that it's there tells us the ship is still alive.
Yes, and collecting data, continuing to collect data as we get closer and closer to Earth.
Yes, now 30 kilometers, now 29 above the Indian
Starship is at
Ocean.
30 kilometers altitude, Mach 2.
They weren't intending to recover either of them. They were both going to velocity to break up upon contact with the surface. We're standing by to hear whether or not So at this point in time, we say transonic because certain parts of the vehicle, like the flap that you see on your screen, might be experiencing airflow faster than the speed of sound, while other parts of the ship may be experiencing airflow.
Starship is in the subsonic belly.
And that even though we can't see anything, the data itself is what we really are.
Starship is subsonic.
Subsonic, they're telling us it's traveling below the speed of sound. That movement means the flaps are actuating. I think we can see something. This is a nail biter. But we are, unfortunately, we can't see through the lens, but we're still getting the feed Starship is now 11 kilometers over the ocean. All this data is incredibly important, even if you know, it breaks up right now. Okay, we can see that flap actuating through the glass.
Starship is passing through 10 kilometers altitude.
Okay, the next milestone will be initiation of the flip maneuver and landing burn. Until the next. Now the Raptor engines will relight and help flip the booster back up. This is a more severe flip given the orientation. The engines will shut down prior to the water.
And these
Our ship is
sort of
doing
transfers
great so
have been done
far.
at this scale before, so that's exciting.
There's those engines
So
relighting.
we're able to demonstrate that.
There's those engines relighting.
What a great reorientation by Starship.
Full view of the reflection of that landing burn.
You can see the water just behind the ship.
Starship has landed.
Incredible view. I think it is safe to say we have a ship in the water. To be honest, I think that is a live view from the ocean surface.
No splashdown today.
A live view from a buoy that we had out at the landing zone. Predicted, and that is why we test this. That was amazing, and we were not intending to recover any of the ship's hardware, so that was the best ending that we could have hoped for.
I don't think we're going to be able to get a ton of extra video of the heat shield, but we hit the target. We hit the target. Yeah. I mean, you know we hit the target. So,
And with that, we got to say a huge congratulations to our teammates and everyone who supported us.